If sailors' tales to sailors' tunes, storm and adventure, heat and cold, if schooners, islands, and maroons and buccaneers and buried gold, and all the old romance retold exactly in the ancient way, can please as me they pleased of old, the wiser youngsters of today, so be it. Ha-ha, and fall off.
Where's Jim?
Harry, he's out sailing his little new boat.
Boat. That's all I get out of the lad.
You be a female purity, and the love a boy has for his first boat be beyond your understanding. Why, 'tis like a dream come true.
Well, it's Jim's dreams I be afeard of. Since the day you give him that sloop, the lad's not been himself anymore.
Aye, he be Christopher Columbus, watching America loom up through the mist. He be Drake, singeing the beard of the King of Spain. He be Flint himself, closing in to boredom.
You've heard all this from Jim?
No. I were once a lad myself, too.
And never grew up. Men be no better than children. Where'd they be without women to anchor them to earth?
Now, don't tell me that women don't have dreams, too.
They have dreams, different dreams, quite different, like marriage.
Well, I think I'd better be going.
And a little home and babies, practical dreaming.
Well, now, don't you worry about Jim. There'd be no better schoolmaster than being master at your own helm.
Meaning what by that, lad?
Meaning that you keep him tied too close to your apron strings. Why, that little boat, it'll make a man of him.
That remains to be seen.
Jim, lad.
Thank goodness you're here, Long John.
Belay.
I'm sorry I'm so late, Miss Purity.
You'll be a lot more sorrier when I get through with you. Go to your room.
But I can explain, Miss Purity.
Now, Miss Purity's been anxious about you. You'd best be careful now, or you'll be losing your new boat.
But I'm trying to tell you, I was keeping my promise and sailing close inshore when I found a bay. The sun was going down, so I decided to sail home.
I told you, go to your room.
Please, listen.
You better make it good, lad.
But this really happened. I sighted a ship. She was anchored in the bay. I sailed up close and gave them a call, but no one answered.
Well?
Everything was still. Awfully still, Miss Purity. There was a queer kind of quiet about the ship. It scared me. Nothing stirred aboard her save the flag. It was the Union Jack. I made the sloop fast and boarded her.
Don't try to wiggle out of trouble with a yarn like this.
But it's the truth, Miss Purity. It was truly a ship of dead men.
You'll never sleep with these foolish notions. I told you his dreams had turned sour on him.
You best go to bed, lad, and sleep it off.
I'll have more to say to you tomorrow about your boat.
But the crew are all slain. You've got to believe me.
Come along.
Her name was Rachel, bound from Liverpool.
Here, hold on. That be a ship named the Rachel heading for Portobello.
How do you know?
It be common talk down at the harbor.
Common talk.
I never heard the talk, Miss Purity. I swear I didn't. I never heard the name Rachel before today.
It ain't like you to lie to me, Jim lad.
I'm not. I give you my word of honor.
We'll settle this right now with the harbor master.
But Jim's had no supper yet.
I couldn't eat, Miss Purity. When I think of those poor dead sailors...
Well, I'll go fetch you a warm jacket.
Now, don't you worry, Jim. We'll straighten this out, I promise ye.
We've had reports of Rachel's progress ever since she sailed from England. The last was off the coast of Bermuda. She was right on schedule.
When did she do here in Portobello?
A week from yesterday.
Nearly a week?
What's it to ye, Silver?
What would you say if I told the harbour master that the Rachel was sighted this very afternoon in a bay not 5 miles from here?
I'd say ye were a liar, which is no news in Portobello.
It was I who saw her, with the cargo of dead men.
You're an apt pupil, seems like, young Hawkins.
I saw her with my own eyes.
Whatever plot you're scheming for when Rachel does enter these waters, I'd advise ye to forget it. Now, get out of my office.
Come, lad.
I'll prove I'm not lying, Long John. There's a breeze blowing, and the moon is full. We can take my boat and sail out to the bay.
Patch, go back and tell Miss Purity to expect us when she sees us.
Aye, Long John.
She was here. I remember that headland. This is the bay.
And the ghost ship?
She was real.
Ah, like the Flying Dutchman.
Be settled at last, and a fine job I had of it.
That lad be no liar.
Not yet.
He were expecting to clap eyes on the Rachel.
He believes his own yarn. I warned you'd come to this. You filled his head with so much blood and thunder, it's turned his young brain.
That lad be no liar, and I'll prove it.
How?
I'll lay the old yarn afore the governor. But that lad swears he was aboard the Rachel, and his word be good enough for me.
You're a wily bird, Silver. But this time you've overreached yourself. The harbour master has reported to me concerning your interest in the Rachel and your use of the boy in whatever scheme you're planning.
If you weren't the governor of Portobello, I'd choke those words down your throat.
I am the governor of Portobello.
Then do your duty and start an inquiry.
On the word of the most notorious liar on the Spanish Main?
This be Jim's yarn, not mine.
Then either the boy has outclassed you in the gentle art of lying, or Miss Pinker is right, and your tall tales of adventure have turned his brain. As governor, I have a duty to the boy himself. Take warning, Silver, lest I decide his best welfare will be served by removing him from your care.
Miss Purity's forbidden me to sail my boat. Oh, please, Long John, can't you persuade her?
Last night, Jim, I laid your story before Governor Strong himself. You'll lose more than your boat if you keeps up these lies. He'll take you away from us.
Long John.
It might be best for you at that.
You'll believe me a week from now when Rachel doesn't sail into Portobello.
Go through the wine cellar, Iron Hand, and make a list of things we're running short of. I'm Miss Purity.
I've missed you.
I have news, Jim.
Oh, leave the lad to his books. They'll empty his head of all that seafaring foolishness.
Your ghost ship, Rachel, has just dropped anchor in Portobello, dead on schedule, with a full crew and cargo.
But I've told you the truth. I've told you the truth. Jim!
It's be your fault. Stop him.
He'll be heading for the harbor. The governor's carriage.
Oh?
He mustn't see you. You get out of sight.
What?
Do as you're told now, you young swab.
Silver.
'Tis a fine morning, Governor.
Still interested in the Rachel, I see.
She's a trim little craft, and speedy.
But not so speedy as you would lead me to believe.
Oh, young Jimmy was just jesting. And I swallowed his yarn, hook, line, and sinker.
There's more on all this than meets the eye, Silver. Stay away from these docks until the Rachel sails, understand? Somehow or other, that oily villain has discovered that the Rachel is here to load bullion. Double the guard between the warehouse where the bullion is stored to the ship's hold. How long will loading take?
Rachel's captain hopes to make the next tide, sir. At 9 this evening.
See that nothing deters him.
The rest of that day was the most awful day I ever remember. I was disgraced before everyone. I almost stopped believing in myself. I wondered if I had imagined it all. But then I knew I hadn't. The dead sailors I saw on the deck, that was real. And yet, Rachel was in port, right on schedule. The dead men were all alive again. How could it be so? At last I made up my mind that there was only one way.
Halt!
I'm from the Rachel.
Give the password.
Charlie.
Go ahead.
I'm cabin boy from the Rachel.
Password.
Charlie.
All right.
Stowaway.
Oh, I was just exploring.
He's a smart one to slip past the guard they clapped on us.
We'll let the captain judge what to do with you.
Aye.
I swear I was just exploring the ship, Captain.
You like the sea, huh? We'll soon be seeing it at close quarters. We don't take any chances, shipmates. We haul him along with us and dump him in the open sea.
You're amidship. The one of you yourself save your breath.
How dead men could come alive, I didn't know. But somehow they had. I wasn't a liar, and I hadn't disgraced Miss Purity and Long John. But they would never know it. They'd think I had fled like a coward. I should be thrown overboard and drowned. I should die. And they would never know the truth.
I don't know what to think. I suppose it'd be all my fault.
The way Jim kept it up, lie upon lie. He disgraced us before the whole town. I'd best go and see that the lad's settled proper for the night.
Captain Silver, His Excellency the Governor demands your presence immediately.
What be the charge?
Long John! Jim's gone! He'd be gone! He's run away!
He'll be aboard the Rachel for certain.
Word has reached the Governor of a survivor from the Rachel found on another island.
A survivor?
He swears the Rachel was pursued for days by an unnamed pirate vessel. She raced for Portobello but was overtaken and boarded. The crew was slain.
Then Jim spoke the truth.
This one man, thrown overboard for dead, revived.
Here, never mind that. The Rachel has 2 hours start and Jim's aboard. Crew of the faithful. Aye. We have work to do. Now listen. John.
The Governor has dispatched his speediest man of war, but we lack information as to Rachel's course.
Well, tell him to follow his nose, the same as I shall. Clap on all the sail we have.
The smartest skipper in the Brotherhood.
Throw to the fish, Rufus. Maybe it'll join its real owner in the belly of a shark. Or Bold Andy the swell.
Aye, Bald Andy almost spoiled everything getting drunk while we was anchored in the bay. And him the only watch left aboard.
They were all I could spare. All other hands were busy sinking our own ship. Down she went without a trace. And now we're cleared away with the bullion and no one the wiser.
Get your hands back on the wheel. Head back to Portobello. I'll kill you if you don't. Your mates are all drunk. They can't help you. I promise you a free pardon in the name of Gunner Strong.
Portobello Harbor, away to larboard, sir.
Head for the shore and run her aground. Run her aground. By seaward, Long John bars their way.
Close off their escape route by land.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Sir, the helmsman. I gave him my word he would go free.
The word of a lad who never lies. Eh, Jim? Come along. The lad is a hero, Miss Pinker.
Oh, he be safe. That's all that matters. To be sure you're a hero.
You've earned the gratitude of Portobello and my deepest apologies.
And mine, too.
May I sail my boat again, Miss Purity? Long John!
I know! The whole coast is singing your praises, lad. Now, if you'll apologize to Jim here for doubting his word,
Which I've already done.
then I'll overlook the slight you made about my own honesty.
Off to bed now, Jim. You must rest.
Good night, Miss Purity. Good night, Long John.
Good night, lad. Bless ye. Oh,
What happened to your hands, Long John?
they're calloused from carrying just a few casks of bullion aboard before the governor's man of war commandeered the lot. So the next time I puts to sea, I'll not be needing your help, I'll provision my own ship.